But on March 22nd, 2025, the Pentagon proved the world wrong. A 97,000-ton floating city, the USS Carl Vinson, was ordered to cross the Pacific faster than anyone thought possible. What happened next stunned America's allies and terrified its enemies. Because this wasn't just about one ship, it was about a system, a hidden plan that lets the US Navy move entire cities of steel and firepower anywhere on Earth, faster than most of us get to work in the morning. And today, you're going to see exactly how it works. Wars aren't won only by weapons. They're won by time. The nation that shows up first decides what happens next. And America has built ships so fast and a system so precise that no rival can move quicker. Think about it. Each carrier strike group is like a moving city, an airport on top, a hospital inside, power plants and defenses everywhere. So when a crisis erupts, these floating cities don't just arrive, they dominate. And that's the hidden fear of every rival commander, that America can appear on their doorstep before they even finish planning. But how? How can something so big move so fast? The answer is a system you've probably never heard of. The Navy calls it the Fleet Response Plan. It sounds like paperwork, but it's really the heartbeat of America's global power. Here's the truth. At any given time, 3 carrier groups are already deployed. 3 more can be moving within 30 days. And 1 more waits in reserve, ready in 90. But in a real emergency, 6 carrier strike groups can surge to sea in just 30 days. That's over 50,000 sailors, hundreds of jets, missiles enough to level entire armies, mobilize faster than most nations can even pack their bags. It's like a giant watch that never stops ticking. Maintenance, training, deployments, woven together like gears. Every carrier, every destroyer, every submarine, locked into the rhythm. And when the rhythm speeds up, the whole Navy moves like one machine. Now imagine the ship itself, a Nimitz-class aircraft carrier, over 1,100 feet long, weighing 97,000 tons. And yet, it can move at 35 miles per hour. Doesn't sound fast. Picture a skyscraper laid on its side, racing across the ocean faster than a truck on the highway. At that speed, a strike group can travel 700 miles in one day, cross entire oceans in just weeks. And here's the kicker. A carrier never moves alone. Cruisers, destroyers, submarines, supply ships, all circling like bodyguards around a king. They move together, they fight together, and they never stop. Because supply ships pull alongside. Fuel, food, weapons, all passed across at sea while both ships stay in motion. Imagine tossing boxes between 2 planes flying side by side. That's what the Navy does, on the open ocean. That's why US strike groups sprint, and they don't get tired. Life on board? It's a city in motion. Over 7,500 people live and work on a carrier. Pilots launch jets day and night. Engineers monitor reactors that power the ship for decades. Doctors run a full hospital below deck. Chefs serve nearly 20,000 meals every single day. Picture this. You walk down a narrow hallway filled with pipes. Sailors rush past with toolkits. Pilots in flight suits hurry toward the deck. The floor hums with nuclear energy. You pass gyms, classrooms, even a chapel. It's a school, a hospital, an airport, all inside a ship of steel. Below, sailors sleep in bunks stacked 3 high. The air smells of oil and salt. The lights never truly go out. Above, jets thunder into the night sky. The radios crackle, alarms sound. The city never sleeps. And from the bridge, officers look out across endless blue water, every mile tracked, every move timed. When the admiral gives an order, thousands of sailors move like one body. That's what makes this force unstoppable. And yet, life at sea is not just work. Sailors stand on deck at sunset, staring at the horizon. Birthdays are celebrated with cakes from the galley. Letters and emails from home keep morale alive. The ship is a war machine, but it's also a home. But what happens in the real world? Let's rewind to March 2025. The USS Carl Vinson was in South Korea. Within days, it was ordered to the Middle East, thousands of miles away, and it arrived combat ready. At the same time, the USS Harry S. Truman's deployment was extended in the same region. Together, they proved one thing: America can shift its strength across oceans almost overnight. And it's not just the US. In 2024, Britain's HMS Prince of Wales was called into action. Normally, it would take a month to prepare. This time, just 8 days. The lesson? Rapid deployment isn't a theory. It's reality, and it changes the balance of power. But speed isn't everything. Position matters too. That's why the US Navy uses forward presence. Carriers aren't sitting at home. They're already stationed worldwide. One in Japan, ready to reach Korea, the South China Sea, or the Indian Ocean in days. Another in the Middle East or Mediterranean, always near the hotspots. So when trouble begins, America doesn't need weeks. It's already there. And here's the bigger picture. Over 90% of world trade moves by sea. Oil, food, electronics, everything you depend on. Who protects those lanes? Carriers do. Picture the Strait of Hormuz. 1/5 of the world's oil moves through it. Or the Strait of Malacca, ships lined up like highways of steel. Or the Panama Canal, the Suez Canal. When U.S. carriers patrol these choke points, the world relaxes. When they don't, panic spreads. Prices rise. Markets crash. One carrier strike group can stabilize entire regions. And that matters to you. The fuel in your car, the food in your store, the phone in your hand. All of it rides on safe seas. And safe seas ride on carriers. But what if everything goes wrong? What if a global crisis erupts? This is where America's system shows its true muscle. In an emergency, 6 carrier strike groups can surge in 30 days. 6. That's 42,000 sailors, over 400 aircraft, hundreds of missiles, all moving at once. And history proves why this matters. At Midway, carriers changed the Pacific War. In Vietnam, they provided air support when land bases were too far. During the Cold War, they shadowed the Soviets without firing a shot. In the Gulf War, carriers launched thousands of strikes before troops even advanced. Every time, speed decided the outcome. In 2004, the Navy tested surge power in an exercise called Summer Pulse. Multiple carriers deployed at once. The system worked, and in 2025, when tensions rose with Iran, 2 carriers, the Carl Vinson and the Nimitz, deployed side by side, flooding the region with power. No other nation can do that, not even close. In the future, it's even faster. Modern carriers like the USS Gerald R. Ford are smarter than anything before. Fewer crew, better launch systems, more aircraft, connected by satellites, fed real-time intelligence. Predictive systems catch problems before they happen. Advanced weather models find the fastest routes. And drones are next. Unmanned aircraft that refuel, spy, and fight. Carriers projecting power farther than ever. 3D printers on board making spare parts instantly. No delays, no waiting. Missions that never stop. Soon, robot escorts may sail with carriers. Plug-and-play destroyers that rotate mid-mission. Unmanned ships scouting ahead. AI guiding swarms of drones to protect the fleet. And weapons, energy beams, railguns firing at hypersonic speeds, defenses that stop missiles in the blink of an eye. The carrier of the future isn't just a ship. It's a fortress, a brain, a city, and a time machine. But let's not forget the human side. Life on a carrier is hard. Months away from family, long shifts, danger everywhere. The flight deck is one of the most dangerous workplaces on Earth. Jets roar in at 150 miles per hour. Sailors race across the deck signaling with bright vests. One mistake can cost lives. And yet, day after day, the crew performs with precision. Below, engineers sweat in engine rooms. Cooks feed thousands. Medics patch wounds from accidents. And chaplains counsel those who miss home. Morale is kept alive through small joys. Movie nights, workout sessions, friendly competitions. Even steel cities need laughter. And that's why carriers aren't just machines. They're communities. Communities that sacrifice comfort so the world stays safe. So what does it all mean? It means America's carriers let the U.S. show up first, act fastest, decide outcomes before rivals even arrive. They cross oceans in weeks. They surge 6 strike groups in a month. They protect trade, support allies, strike enemies, all at the same time. When you hear news about a carrier moving, remember this. It's not just metal on the water, it's a message. Freedom of the seas will be defended. Allies will not stand alone. No rival will outpace the United States Navy. These aren't floating airports. They're floating fortresses, floating cities, moving faster than anyone believed possible. And here's the most important part. This speed doesn't just protect nations. It protects you. The gas in your car, the food in your home, the phone in your pocket. All of it depends on carriers. Without them, the global economy would crumble. So the next time you see a carrier on the news, remember, it's not just a ship. It's a promise that the seas will stay open, that freedom will endure, that America will always be there, first, fast, and unstoppable. If you found this story as incredible as we did, hit that like button. Subscribe for more deep dives into the power and technology shaping our world. And type proud in the comments if you're proud of the men and women who keep these floating cities moving, because their speed is what keeps the world safe.